Chapter 1. Motivating by Appreciation. The Concept. I, Gary, was having dinner with a friend who was a paid employee of a large nonprofit organization. I shared with him that Dr. White and I were working on the Motivating by Appreciation project. When I finished my brief overview, I said to him, "Could I ask you a personal question about your own work?" "Certainly," he said. I continued, "On a scale of 0 to 10, how appreciated do you feel by your immediate supervisor?" "About 5, he said. I could detect a tinge of disappointment in his voice when he said 5. My second question followed. "On a scale of 0 to 10, how appreciated do you feel by your coworkers?" "About an 8, he said. "How many people work closely with you?" I inquired. 2, he responded. "Do you feel equally appreciated by the 2 of them?" I asked. "No," he said. "One would be a 6, and the other a 9. That's why I said about an 8. Research indicates that employees favor recognition from managers and supervisors by a margin of 2 to 1 over recognition from coworkers. However, most of us would agree that if we feel appreciated by our coworkers, life is much more pleasant. Whether you are a business owner, CEO, supervisor, or a coworker, this book is designed to help you communicate appreciation in a way that will be meaningful to the individuals with whom you work. Why is feeling appreciated so important in a work setting? Because each of us wants to know that what we are doing matters. Without a sense of being valued by supervisors and colleagues, workers start to feel like a machine or a commodity. If no one notices a person's commitment to doing the job well, motivation tends to diminish over time. Stephen Covey, author of the best-selling The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, feels so strongly about people's need for appreciation that he states, "Next to physical survival, the greatest need of a human being is psychological survival, to be understood, to be affirmed, to be validated, to be appreciated." When relationships are not nurtured by a sense of appreciation, the results are predictable. Team members will experience a lack of connectedness with others and with the mission of the organization. Workers will tend to become discouraged, feeling there is always more to do and no one appreciates what I'm doing. Often employees will begin to complain about their work, their colleagues, and their supervisor. Eventually, team members start to think seriously about leaving the organization, and they begin to search for other employment. Why just say thanks doesn't work. Communicating appreciation to employees and colleagues sounds pretty easy and straightforward. In many ways it is. However, we also know that for the communication of appreciation to effectively encourage the other person, several factors must be considered. First, researchers have found that attempts to communicate appreciation globally across an organization are not very effective. For recognition and appreciation to be effective, they must be individualized and delivered personally. Trying a general "just say thanks" campaign across the company will not have much impact. In fact, in our work with companies, we have found that this type of approach can actually backfire and spark a negative reaction from employees. People want appreciation to be genuine. Workers are skeptical of programs implemented from the top down, where supervisors are given an instruction to communicate appreciation for each team member at least once a week. While we all want to know that we are valued, we want it to be authentic, not contrived. Second, appreciation needs to be viewed as valuable to the recipient in order to have an impact. This is directly related to the necessity for individualized communication. Just as individuals have a primary love language in family relationships, they also have a primary appreciation language in the work setting. The challenge, from the supervisor's perspective, is to know what actions hit the mark and effectively communicate appreciation to a team member. This is why we developed the MBA inventory, along with the specific action items for each language of appreciation. We wanted to develop a tool that provided accurate, individualized actions business owners and organizational leaders can use to show their appreciation for their team members without having to guess about what will be most significant to the employee. We agree with Buckingham and Clifton, who state in their best-selling Now Discover Your Strengths, to excel as a manager, to turn your people's talents into productive, powerful strengths, requires an additional, all-important ingredient. Lacking this ingredient, you will never reach excellence. The all-important ingredient is individualization. Third, another important research finding is that employees are more likely to burn out when they do not feel appreciated or emotionally supported by their supervisors. In today's financial climate, businesses have had to reduce the number of employees, raises and financial compensation have been slowed or halted, and the demands on employees are greater than ever. This is the perfect set of conditions for employees to become discouraged. More work, less support from others, little financial incentive, and fear about the future combine to make employees feel insecure. We have found many organizations that are looking for ways to encourage their team members and reward them for work well done, but are no longer able to use financial rewards to accomplish this purpose. This is especially true in the areas of government, schools, social service agencies, and nonprofit organizations. Directors and administrators now must find ways to encourage team members that do not require large amounts of financial resources. Finally, there is a bit of good news for these business leaders. When leaders actively pursue communicating appreciation to their team members, the whole work culture improves. Ultimately, the managers report that they are enjoying their work more. All of us thrive in an atmosphere of appreciation.